Hi, and welcome to another episode of Connections with Jennifer Aaliyah. This week, I have the privilege of sitting down with J.R. Smith, who is from Veterans Ranch, a wonderful charity to help support veterans. And I can't wait to learn more about what you do and how you use networking to really help people that are so deserving of help. So thank you for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for having us.
So could you explain more about what the Veterans Ranch is and how it helps?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we were started in 2017. It's myself and my wife. We're the proud patriots of the bunch, and my dad's a Vietnam veteran and the other founder. We got sick and tired of being sick and tired of watching veterans not being taken care of, alternative therapies not being recognized, like what we do, equine therapy. God's majestic animal is an amazing thing. It can feel a gnat land on its back and knows everything about you 10 plus feet away. Really, what we start with is what most horse people do every day and kind of take for granted. We're going to put one of these things in your hand called a grooming brush. Now, we do have to give a plug to Decker Manufacturing out of Keokuk, Iowa. They provide all of our grooming materials to us, and it's another veteran-owned, family-owned business. So I plug our sponsors anywhere we can. The whole point with this is to get you to start working that rhythmic motion, start getting your hands on the horse so the horse knows you or starts to know you, you start to know it, and you start building that bond of trust with each other. Our inevitable goal is really simple. Get you to come full circle. If you look at our brand, you'll see from the kind of the horse's neck, it's a circle that comes around. So we want you to come full circle, lay down heavy coats of burden, and walk off that new and improved version of yourself. And like NASCAR, however many laps that takes, we're going to be here for you.
Hmm. Well, that is fantastic. My children ride. Three out of my four are actively riding. And when they first start taking lessons, like the first few weeks is, just, grooming the horse, and they haven't even gotten to picking out the hooves, but, the curry comb and the brush and brushing the tail. And at first they're a little like, why am I not getting to ride? But then they start to enjoy it. And when they get on the horse, like you said, they have that bond and they've learned to respect the animal more. So I have two younger ones who generally ride together, and it was a whole big thing of you both need to be on the same side of the horse, and that like took weeks to understand. You both need to be on the same side of the horse when you groom, and the little one still doesn't like that, but she's gotten over it. So yeah, it is a great exercise. You think it's just brushing, but there's so much more to it. So I know that you are a great networker. And I'd love to hear what connections means to you as far as networking and getting out the message of your organization.
Sure. I really look deeply for connections. Sometimes, sure, I'll just talk to anybody and everybody. I say when you have a nonprofit, you're breathing, you're fundraising, you're getting your message out there. But I always look for, say, key players, key people that I want to speak to, and not that one's any better than another person, but just people that I really want to make connections with. Sometimes for a reason, maybe they're active military or they're in the equine world or, what have you, fill in the blank. And I like having great, meaningful conversations because now I'm getting to know them and I'm building a bond of trust with them, just like you do with the horse. That's how we've grown our board in the last 60 days. We've doubled the size of our board from literally Florida to California with board members because I'll talk with them. I find out their mission, what they want to do in life, what their thing is for veterans, because the only people we have on our board are Blue Star families, which are active duty families, Gold Star families, sadly, ones that have lost ones in the line of duty, and veterans. So I want to get their why. What are they doing this for? And then get them on the board and have that same passion and mission that we do out there, in their neck of the woods.
Yes. So you brought up an important point about every body could support something, but really you need to understand the core of a business or an organization to really be the one that is pushing it forward. And that is something that, I mean, I do marketing. I don't I don't serve veterans, but I have so much respect for veterans and for those who help them. But one of the things that I do in marketing is when I meet with a company, I always say I need to meet with the owner or the founder. I need to meet with the person that has that vision, because that's how we can get down to that core messaging and really hone in that marketing plan. And many of them were like, no, that's why I have a VA. That's why it's like, no, but they don't have that vision. They don't have
Yeah.
that understanding.
They didn't have the passion. How this got started, very short story. My dad always taught me to keep a legal pad by the bed in case you get an idea in the middle of the night. I've had a lot of legal pads, went a lot of nowhere. I still have the one legal pad from October of 2017 that I scribbled the word ranch on and almost couldn't read it the next morning. Had no idea what that meant. My wife and I wanted a couple horses and our own little slice of Americana. The word ranch, as we conjure up what that means, Yellowstone and, and all these kind of things, right? That never came into picture. 2 weeks later, we're going to Bass Pro Shops because I am that guy you can drop off at open and pick up at close. We stop at Chili's for lunch. Long story short, 30 Chili's napkins later, the ideas for the Veterans Ranch was born. So I take no credit for this whatsoever. It's the good Lord and a horse that said, go get them. And so, you've got to have these open, right? And these can lead to this sometimes, or this can lead to these. God gave us two of these and one of these. You got to use them proportionately.
Yes. Yes, and I know a lot of people that would say that everything starts with God and a horse, but it's really true. There's a lot of good things in this world that you can do between the two of them. So, is there anything else that you would like to add about maybe how people can network more effectively, or just get that message of the passion across, even if you aren't the founder of the company, but you're representing it?
Yeah. First of all, be passionate about what you do. Have a self-employed mentality. That was another thing I was taught at a very young age. Okay. If you're working for someone and they're paying you $1, give them two in effort, right? I've been in sales and commission sales since I was 18, 19 years old, and I'm now 49. Okay. So I knew what it was like to put that effort in, be passionate about it. Don't be phony, but be passionate. That'll come across to your customers and to the people you're speaking with as genuine. When you're networking in a room, don't just go in and shotgun 5,000 cards like, you really accomplished something. You just spent somebody's business card budget, or your own for that matter. Most of the people, when you go to follow up with them, they're not going to remember who you were because you didn't leave a lasting impression with them. Mm-hmm. Take 5 or 10 business cards, put them in your front pocket. Keep the rest of them in your coat pocket or back pocket, wherever you keep your cards. Make a point to have 10 meaningful conversations, or even if it's 5 and they're really good ones, and get those cards out. Get cards back. If you have a digital card, those are really popular now. You can get us through our InPhone link. I love giving people our QR code. You'd be surprised how many people it impresses that some cowboy, with a nonprofit has a digital business card. Wow. I don't think it's that impressive. It's just a lot of information in one concentrated area. But make meaningful connections, meaningful conversations. Reach out to them on LinkedIn, connect with them. Don't just blast them with spam as soon as you meet them, because then you just became the telemarketer that's calling them at dinner time, right? We've all been there or had that call or had those jobs before. Mm-hmm. So the point is, make meaningful connections and meaningful conversations, build a relationship to where it's like, hey, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Can I get your opinion? Here's a pitch that I've got. I'm trying to get out there. I want your opinion on it. I respect your opinion in your field. Make people feel good about what they do, because then they'll do the same to you and the same for you. Yeah. Offer your network. You know people they don't know. They know people you don't know. I don't have the most connections on LinkedIn. I'm pushing about 13,000, but I'm connected with people that have 500. And I say, if you need someone, if you see someone in my list that you think would be a great fit for you, let me know and why.
Mhm,
and I'll do a group introduction, see where it goes from there. Have a giver's gain mentality
mhm.
to help somebody else because it will truly come back to you in a good way.
Yes. Excellent. So thank you so much for being here. I really have enjoyed having you here and learning more about what you do. Can you tell us what's the best way to get in touch with you for the listeners that want to connect?
Best way to get in touch with us, go right to our website, theveteransranch.org. Again, theveteransranch.org. You can hit our contact button and reach right out to us through there.
Okay. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with the audience?
Calling out to all veterans right now that either know some veterans or they are a veteran that has land and horses. We just launched our affiliate ranch program this week. Kind of a minimum of about 10 acres and about 5 horses on up to a massive ranch. When we started this in 2017, there were 30,000 charities that dealt with veterans. There's now pushing 50,000 plus. Why start brand spanking new, trying to fight for that same dollar when you can come under our umbrella, our nonprofit, and be the Veterans Ranch in your city and have a good 5 years of seasoning on a nonprofit? So go to that website, reach out to us today, and let's get this job started. We got veterans to serve.
Yes, excellent. And you know what they say, life is better with horses. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for watching this episode of Connections with Jennifer Elia. We will be live again next Friday at